Welcome to Camden College. This is our main reception area. So we have a seating area and an information area, and for students to get a light snack if they need to. Some coffee, tea and water refreshments. Yeah, it's all complimentary, so they're quite welcome to the refreshments here. We have a small consultation room where a student can sit down and fill out their paperwork and talk to Hayley. Also, she's Korean as well.
Yeah, Korean staff here.
Yeah, she's hiding there. Say hello.
Yeah, maybe just say hello.
Hello. Hello, Hayley. So these are the Camden fish. So you got the classroom? So this is one of our classrooms, and in this particular classroom we do most of the construction training, just showing the students the practical use of the tools of the trade. Also with multimedia we show a lot of videos. We try to get the students involved in terms of their learning, because a lot of it's practical and hands-on as well. It's important that they learn the real currency, which means that it's actually what's been worked in the industry is what we call currency. It's the real work. There is a lot of material in the textbook, but we want to be able to train them in terms of today's environment, okay? In terms of what is happening in the real world today in terms of construction. Australian construction is highly compliant, very highly regulated, so it's important that the students learn that in quite detail for them to be successful.
Yeah.
We have our simulated work environment in the back. So depending on what the student's learning, so we teach waterproofing and tiling throughout here. So we have various classes throughout the week. A lot of the tiles will go up, then they will come back down depending on what the class is being taught. It's being taught by our trainers who actually work in the industry as well, in terms of real tilers. They're working on real jobs, bathroom renovations, new houses, old houses. So we try to teach them on every aspect of the element. We lined ourselves up with Bayset. Bayset's a fairly large worldwide company that provides all the waterproofing. So we try to teach them the different scenarios and situations. So in this area we teach them wall and ceiling lining, which is plastering. So this is a small simulated room, so which means they'll actually put all the gyprock and the fibro in the room, set all the corners, and then in about a week it all comes down and then it all goes back up. So there's a little bit of repetition to that. So they'll learn how to line up the internal walls, put the cornices on, put all the details on. So it's simulating the room. Generally, once they've learned the simple and basic ways and procedures of learning, then we set them out with the employer and they actually do the on-site experience. I mean, that's the difference with us. We have so many construction companies in line with us. So as soon as the students done their basics, we send them out to learn on the real job. Yeah. So we're bricklaying here as well. Bricklaying is quite popular. It's on the skills shortage list. It's very highly in demand. So what students learn here is how to mix the mortar, how to set out bricks, just the basics of bricklaying skills. But most of it's learned out on the job once they learn their theory. So they learn how to do a straight wall in terms of the basic bricks, because there's a lot of basic fundamentals that you've got to learn here before they can go out. If the students go out to a workplace and they don't know the basic foundation, the companies don't like that, because they want students who know the basics. Then they're quite happy to teach them a bit further. So this is our carpentry work site, and we treat this like a real work site as it would be out on any of the sites. So in terms of entry of the condition, they've got to meet the minimum requirements to make sure that they understand their PPE and the reasons why they should have a white card. And having a builder's sign is actually part of the construction compliance. So every site you see in Australia that's going into some sort of renovation or construction, they'll always have the builder's sign.
Builder's sign, yes.
Yeah. So here we try to teach them all of the carpentry in terms of how to put up trusses, how to read plans, how to use the different tools, how does framing work, how to set up a frame, because the Australian houses are based on timber framing, the different types of framing that you need, the spacings for the frame, the bracings, how to tie the frame down. It's all part of the Australian National Construction Code, the building codes of Australia, and that's.
So you teach them based on that code?
Yeah, it's based on the curriculum. So in order to build a building in Australia, it must meet the NCC, which is the National Construction Code, and that's what's taught in carpentry. It's taught in tiling as well. It's taught in all of the other trades. You cannot just go about doing a task at your own will. You've got to follow the NCC codes to meet the requirements.
Of course.
And that's why it is a licensed outcome. So once you finish your carpentry here, you can actually apply for your QBCC license, which means you can become a contractor, you can become a builder.
Okay.
Yes, you've got to know all of the regulations. So we teach them even how to do basic decking, how to do subfloors. So all of that gets learned throughout here. Once they've learned all those basic, how to use the tools, then we'll actually send them out with our work site, with our carpenters, and then they can actually do the real work out on site. So we have a number of students. We've got 3 projects running at the moment where all of our students are going and learning at different stages.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So this is for the roof trusses. The roof trusses need to be built and installed in a certain way. So we teach them how to read the various plans, how to interpret the plans, how to interpret the framing structures, the bracing, and look at the engineering side of it as well. There's a lot into carpentry. It's because once you become a carpenter, it's a pathway to become a builder in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so normally a good carpenter makes a very successful builder. So
Like only carpenter? What about like tiler or like painter?
carpenter and bricklayer are the 2 qualifications, is a pathway to be a builder.
Oh, okay, only 2
Only
qualifications.
2, yes. Sorry, after carpentry or bricklaying, you can do the certificate 4 in building and construction.
Building and construction,
Yes, so if you have combined of about 2 years experience, after that, then you can be
Become
a
a
builder.
builder.
Yeah,
Licensed builder.
licensed builder, yes. I mean, there's a lot of integral parts that go into the carpentry. So we try to teach them on every aspect in the classroom where all these components go. Whereas waterproofing and tiling and plastering, they're a little bit different. But like I said, carpentry is very heavily compliant. It's got the most units out of all of them, but it's probably the biggest earner as well. So if you become a licensed carpenter, you're going to earn a lot more money and you're going to become a builder as well.
Okay.
But one thing, it's got to be taught in the right way, and you do need a student who's a little bit more passionate about it as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So why should students choose Camden College over other institutions?
Yeah, okay. If you're looking at a college to enroll and you think, why should we go to college A or college B? And I think that's a very fair question. One of the advantages that we have, and we feel this is why the students should come to us, is that we've got real work in construction, we have real projects, and all of our trainers are actually working in the industry as well.
Okay.
So what you're going to get is real life training that is happening in the construction as well as the trainer. So they're not just academic in terms of they've done something else in their life and now they're doing construction in terms of training, but our carpenter is a carpenter who works on site, but he also trains as well. Okay? And the building and construction trainer, he's actually building out there, but he's training as well. So you're going to get that real life experience. And a lot of students, when they go to different colleges, they have to fill out logbooks. So the college will say, okay, you've done your first part, now go out and get some experience and go to your logbook. And the students will run around everywhere trying to find work. With us, they don't need to run around. We will give them the work experience. They're able to fill out their logbooks.
Pretty much like guaranteed.
Yes, guaranteed placement
Wow.
experience.
Okay.
Yeah, is what we offer them.
Alrighty. Okay.
So I'm a licensed builder myself. I've been building for 25 years, and we try to bring that experience into the college ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Good thing
So
to point out.
sometimes, I'll get a student and they'll ask me a certain question. We can answer it. We can answer it from starting to finish because we're working in the industry. We have that experience. So in terms of placement, we guarantee all of our placements because we have that work available. Well, I think that, like I said, that's a genuine difference is what we're offering. And I'll show you videos of actually students who are doing that. So if you send one of your students and if we train them, we'll put them in a project. So like she's doing tiling, I've got Korean tilers. And would say, look, can you take her on board for 4 weeks? Or
would it be like paid placement or not really?
So the difference between paid and not paid, depending on the level of the experience. Yeah, so if you got someone who wants to learn, so I mean, the universe says you have to pay to learn, and students, pay to learn from colleges. but you're learning from other masters as well. But the payment is your time. So you got to give up some of your time to learn. But once you've learned the basic skills and you're going to work with someone and he feels you'll be valuable, they'll be happy to pay you. But they're not going to pay you to learn how to put safety glasses on, how to be the basics. They're not going to do that.
Of course.
Yeah, so they want people who are ready to work, they can put to use. That's the important part. So if I'm a tiler and a student comes to me, he knows the basic. He knows how to mix the glue, okay? He knows how to cut the tiles. He understands the safety of the work environment. I think, okay, he's not zero level, he's at level 1.
Level 1.
Yeah. But I don't want somebody at zero level. So if he's at level 1, maybe they'll offer him a little bit of wages and then learn from there.
Right.
But when you get zero level, they say, look, it's okay.
All right. Then you give up some time.
I'd rather pay somebody who's at level 1 and 2, because otherwise you're wasting my time.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Got it.
So this is upstairs. We have classrooms up here as well. We've got some computers available. There's a breakout area. We have a smaller classroom because we try to, in this classroom, try to have a smaller group so there's a little bit better learning environment. Because when you get larger groups, sometimes not everybody learns, and everybody learns in a different way. So we try to break them into smaller groups as well. And then we've got the larger classrooms as well. But mostly with your students, Josh, that we would use that downstairs.
Downstairs, right? Okay.
Yeah.
For the white card, of course. Yeah.
White card and construction, we teach more down there.
So these are for like business students,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yes. We have staff area up here, the staff rooms up here.